Hi, I want to provide a brief overview of the upcoming Fraud Symposium on December 7th and 8th. I'm Vic Hartman. I'm an attorney and CPA with the Hartman firm in Atlanta, Georgia, and a member of the Behavioral Forensics Group, which is a lead sponsor of this Fraud Symposium. Today, I have with me Dr. Sri Ramamurthy. He is an associate professor of accounting at the University of Dayton and a lead principal of the Behavioral Forensics Group.
Good to be with you, Vic. So to open the Fraud Symposium, we are in fact going to have a panel session that will literally delve into this very question that you've asked, and it's appropriately titled, Bringing Freud to Fraud, the Psychology of Fraud.
Okay, so that's a great way to kick off the conference. What should our participants expect for the remainder of the day?
Well, thanks to you, Vic, we do have a terrific lineup of speakers. And the keynote speaker is Mr. Aaron Tapp, the Deputy Assistant Director of the FBI. He's based out of FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. And he's going to paint with a broad brush, and he's uniquely positioned to provide us a view of the global fraud threat picture. That sounds fascinating. Following that, we are going to hear from Dr. Biana Corliar. She's a practicing psychiatrist affiliated with the Chicago Medical School. Dr. Corliar has recently done a study of cheating among medical students during the COVID pandemic, and also potentially post-COVID, if I could call it that. But bottom line, her study looks at the spawning of this cheating culture. And clearly, there are going to be implications for fraud in general. So her research, again, sounds very interesting, and there could be a lot there for the audience to absorb. Finally, we're going to hear from Mr. Perry Tomlinson. He is affiliated with the Truist Center for Ethical Leadership at the University of North Georgia. I have had the pleasure of hearing Mr. Tomlinson before, and Perry is just outstanding as a speaker on the topic of ethics. So I can assure all of you, you're in for a treat, and the first day sounds to be a great way to begin the Fraud Symposium.
All right, Dr. Ramamurthy, thank you for that great summary. I'm looking forward to our first day of the Fraud Symposium. Joining me now is one of the other Fraud Symposium organizers. David Morrison, MD, is an organizational psychiatrist with Morrison Associates, and he's also a founding member of the Behavioral Forensics Group.
Thank you, Vic. Good to be with you.
Who will the speakers be on the second day of the Fraud Symposium?
Well, on the second day, I think we have a terrific program. In fact, we start out with you, Vic. Our first topic is going to be investigations of money laundering. And this typically includes the classic money laundering as well as cryptocurrency. Secondly, we have Chad Hunt, who is a specialized FBI agent in white-collar crime, and he'll be exploring cyber risk and an update on cyber crimes as it relates to his expertise with his team. Next, we have an experienced panel of federal prosecutors who will be exploring and providing insights and tips related to a case of healthcare fraud. And lastly, we had David Sims of Sims & Associates, and he is an expertise with digital forensics, and he'll be exploring that topic as well as the related context of intellectual property theft. So it's a full day, very interesting, diverse, but all tying back to understanding and finding ways to prevent fraud and white-collar crime.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dr. Morrison. That sounds like day two is going to be a really exciting information-packed symposium. I do want to remind all of our participants that the Fraud Symposium is on December 7th and 8th. You can get continuing education for your credential, and for CPAs, it is NASPA certified. Thank you.